are back. Okay, we are back, and this is the part 3 of it. So, back to Brian Lowell. So you were that you want to see him succeed and do well. It's just the idea of
the way he's going about it. I can't approve of what he's doing.
It's pretty saggish, and kind of down low type things. It's just. To me, if you're a good candidate, just put it out there. You don't have to pander. A lot of people don't like me, and you're not going to please everybody. But I am who I am, and I can't hide that. So I know to a lot of people I'm really in base, and I don't shut up or I don't do this. But this is who I am, and I think I have a bug up my ass to do so. An Edgemont. And I look at the rest of the city. If you lived where I live, you'd be pissed off too. So that's where I'm coming from, and I try to explain that to people. When you live in your nice, $400,000, $300,000 home, nice yard, and everything nice and pristine, and I went to the military, and I come back home, and my neighborhood, not that it's worse than ever, it's like, well, it looks like the same as when I left it. I'm thinking it should improve, and it hasn't. If anything, it's going backwards. So that's my 2 cents on that. But we have another candidate. Yesterday, I missed her, and I'm going to be doing this all week. Catch these candidates as they're pulling papers, and it's hot out there for me to do that. So again, everybody, please stay out of the heat. Millie Bailey, she's running in the third as well against Brian Lowell. What is your take on Millie, and what do you think?
Having talked to her personally, I think she has potential, but someday I don't think she's ready.
Right now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think she still needs to deal with... she's still got a lot of baggage from Highland, working for Highland Fairview.
And that's going to work against her, you think?
I think that leaves a lot of questions about why she's running. And also, she still has... she's still under a gag order from, or a non-disclosure agreement from working with Highland Fairview.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
And until she works that out and can get whistleblower protections, then I don't think it would be a good idea for her to be in office yet.
Right, that's true.
I'd encourage her to run again someday. I don't think she's in a good position to help the city at the moment.
Well, running, one time and going through it, I think is a good experience. But it's just like me when I ran. Even though I won by default, I lost. To find out that I won, it was still a good experience. Why now in this cycle, I know what to do. I know what to expect, because it is a scary experience. Yeah. But what kills me about this election cycle is we don't know who's all going to pull papers. But as of right now, there's only 3 people in that district that I know of that is running. Now the rumor is, and I don't want to put this out or put anything on blast, but Dave kind of already put himself out there on my page. Dave Marquez. He might be running in District 3. So what is your take on Dave? Dave has been in the community for a very, very long time.
I'm really not familiar enough yet to comment. Also, I know I don't have reason to doubt anyone's motives. Yeah. I just doubt their methods, or I doubt their suitability, their personality, their past dealings, or whatever. I would be, if these candidates can bring up more information to the table that would present themselves in a better light and information would withstand scrutiny, that's great. I would love to know more about Coaches, but right now I don't know enough about him to make a comment.
Right, and like I said, the season hasn't really officially opened yet, so we're going to find out. And like I said, Dave's a good friend of mine. I can tell you he's a veteran. He's a good guy. He does a lot of cleaning up in the city, and I'm in a different district than him, so there's a dog in the fight over there, so I have no problem not endorsing him, but I have no ill wills toward Dave. But everybody that listens to me says, "Oh, you're so biased, and it's obvious you're going to run for that seat in the election." Now, let's just be honest. You're a pretty good guy. I did pull papers. Yeah. Okay, there's no doubt about that. Now, in your opinion, in my district right now, we have Victoria Baca, we have LaDonna, who's a known bank robber. We have Victoria Baca, who's involved in a embezzlement case, and a possible money laundering with the FPPC. Yeah. The case for the embezzlement, as I reported on Friday, is going to trial August 5th. Now, I pulled papers today. What is your opinion? Just be honest. What is your opinion about me pulling papers? Is it an opportune thing, or what do you think?
I think, you've been looking for someone else to run for a while.
Yes, I have.
No one has stepped up. I wish you didn't have to run, because I think what you're doing with this show is, and some of the other research you've done, is doing more for the city than being on the city council.
Right.
But stepping up, and we need you to step up. We need someone that's actually going to call things like it is.
Right, and at least expose some of these people who might have different motives than serving the community. Now, yesterday, or was it yesterday or the day before yesterday, on the page, I was talking to LaDonna, and I was reporting a truck that was parked on Day Street like it usually is, and trucks are parked all over the city. So, I understand when people come to my page and say, well, there's trucks over here, you're not the only area. I understand that, but everybody understand, I don't live in the other areas of the city, so I'm only talking about what I can do for my district. So I don't want to seem biased or anything like that. I know trucks are everywhere, but I'm reporting on what I see in my neighborhood. I reported to LaDonna Jimson, and she basically wrote back and replied to all of us that were saying pretty much the same thing, that it's not her job. What? See that thing, or did you read it? Or
yeah.
Well, what's your take on that? I mean, now, if it isn't her job, we're giving her a $60,000 annual package. We're giving her a $2,000 stipend. If it's not her job, whose job is it? I thought it was pretty bold that she said that to me. I was like, what?
Well, if she's on the city council, I mean, the buck stops there. Mm-hmm. Perhaps there is some responsibility for the code enforcement, but it's her job to keep up to date on what's going on.
I mean, because as a citizen, I'm doing everything that I can. I put up I have hundreds of code violations that I've reported using the app.
Yeah.
But nobody's paying me to do this.
Yeah.
So it's like, where's code enforcement and what's going on? And then I report it to her. Mm-hmm. Her attitude is, it's not my job. Well, whose job is it?
Well, like Ronald Reagan said, the buck stops here. And
yes, absolutely.
Once we have a mayor, then the mayor will bear some responsibility too, but that's not going to let the city council off the hook for ignoring this stuff either.
Right. Now, I mean, we have these code enforcement officers. We've cut the budget here, we've sliced this, we've sliced that, but yet because we don't enforce our code enforcement or even bump them up, the neighborhoods are going to crap.
Yeah.
And and I'm not pandering like that, but that's one of the things that I'm going to be running on is getting a code enforcement force to make because I'm a firm believer of this. If you've been working hard all day for 8 hours and you come home and you see your neighborhood looks like crap, it puts you even in a worry because you've been in that traffic for 2.5 hours trying to get home, and then you come home and then you see your neighborhood looking like crap.
Yeah.
Or your neighbor's yard isn't cut. You're doing what you can, but it makes your house look bad.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'd hope that people aren't constantly criticizing each other for uncut lawns and parking their cars on the grass during street sweeper days. Mm. But there are sometimes things, garbage left out.
Right.
Which is obstructing view of traffic.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. If we had a code enforcement force, the one thing people understand is when you hit their pocket and their money. So if you had a code enforcement force that it's people like they're supposed to, none of this stuff would be going on because nobody would pay a $75 ticket for something that they could have just done and put their trash away or whatever they're going to do.
Yeah, well, even if they just give people a warning, hey, you need to get fixed, and then give them a timeline.
Give them a break, give them a timeline to do it. What's the big deal?
I think
it's a revenue-generating thing that we can put into the general fund or put into a public safety budget. I mean, I'm not for nickeling, diming everybody, but if our city looks like crap, you're not going to attract businesses here because it looks like a ghetto.
Yeah. So I'm not sure that running around citing people for petty traffic violations or petty code enforcement violations is necessarily the best way to do it. If you can just the code enforcement violations, if you can just get people say, hey, this needs to be fixed.
Yeah, pay attention. Right.
Yeah, pay attention. I think that would do more than running around ticketing people.
Right, exactly. And that's what I'm saying, just to have that thing to where people are actually thinking outside the box and saying, well, you know what, I need to pick up my neighborhood or pick up this thing over here or cut my grass within a certain amount of time. So we have that. Now, let's get back to the Victoria Baca thing. Now, she's been saying, and her goon squad, and we know who her goon squad is, has been saying that I've been lying about this case and things like that. Now the case is actually going to trial. And she's been silent now, all of a sudden. What is your take? on this person being involved in embezzlement. I mean, as a voter or somebody that is looking at what's going on, I mean, because you're, like I said, I think you're a very, very person, and you look and you watch and you look at the facts. For months, I've been saying that this thing is existing, and I've been called a liar, and I've been called the N-word and all that other stuff, which doesn't bother me at all. Now, it's a fact, and this lady is running for her seat. What is your take on it?
Well, first off, I think a candidate that's throwing around racial slurs is rather unprofessional, to say the least.
Well, it's not her. I think it's the Goon Squad, but one and the same.
Yeah. I think she has a lot to explain if she's been telling everyone that this doesn't exist, and now she has to go to court over it.
Right.
If people vote for her, then they deserve her, really.
Right. And I've been saying that. We deserve what we vote in. In the new 1st District, you have 3 candidates that we know of right now. Mm-hmm. Jimson, Baca, and myself. Mm-hmm. What are the chances? Hopefully, God, please, another person arises. Mm-hmm. But right now, as you look at it early in the returns, what would you bet on right now? I mean, Jimson, yeah, she's a nice lady, but the fact of the matter is, you're a bank robber.
I'm noticing with Jimson that with emails and other electronic messages that she's been Facebook or whatever, that her responses, seems like every response I've ever seen from her basically looks like a form letter that anyone's ever posted on Facebook about what they've
or the city staff told me this, and it's like she doesn't have any skin in the game. I mean, she's taking photo. When I read that email yesterday, she's talking about, well, the reason why I take pictures. No, you could go to all kinds of events you want, but I'm a firm believer. If I go to an event and people see me there and people take pictures of me, I'm not going to post those pictures because I want to show people that I'm doing something, which is why I post my emails and all this other stuff like that.
Let others post.
Yeah, let the other post the pictures because I was there, or whatever, and and I'm all for it. But so that's interesting in that. Now, her best friend for life, Denise Fleming, she's been very silent. Now, here's a person who has said she's running for mayor. But we don't see anything that these people are doing. I see the photo ops. I see them at the parties. But, what are you in the community?
I wouldn't even know that Denise Fleming is running if you didn't mention it.
Right. But, people say, well, why am I so on the Denise Fleming? And if those of you people that don't know, the reason why is it's a personal thing between me and Miss Fleming. Basically, I was at the Red, Black, and Green Ball, and she basically told me in no uncertain terms, I'm unelectable. So when she told me that, I had to tell myself, I had to keep my composure, because I try to be a professional. I try. I had to tell her, if I'm not electable, and I said this in my head, I'm going to make sure you're not electable either. So I'm going to expose you for the person that you are, and here we go. And she's the best friend for life with a known bank robber. So that tells you a lot right there. Birds of a feather do fly. So, other than that, okay, we have another minute and a half to go. Anything else going on in the community that you know of? We have a new business. Have you visited the new Tilted Kilt?
No.
Oh my gosh, you need to go. I've gone 3 or 4 times already, okay? So, a new business off Day Street, the Tilted Kilt. They have UFC fighting. It's usually packed on the nights, but make a reservation before you go, and they'll get you in there, whatever. Because it gets packed, and I think there's a $7 cover charge. But the food is the food is very good, and if you go there during the weekday, of course the military guys support a new sports bar in the neighborhood. So it was really great doing that. You'll see a lot of Air Force and Army guys sitting over there having a nice drink and doing that. But that's a new business that's up. And another thing I want to talk about in our next segment is where are we going to go in regards to this WLC and how we're going to get that to work. So we're going to talk about that. Just give us a few minutes, and we will be right back as soon as these words are done.
Have you ever heard of a project